I actually came across this story shortly after I recorded the video about Andrea Serrano, or Andrea Serrano, however you pronounce that heifer's name. And it's crazy because we gone from one grown person violating a child to another grown person violating a child. But this time we are in Lynchburg, Virginia. I swear the name of that city just blows my mind. But this is Virginia after all we're talking about. So we have another quote unquote model minority we're talking about here. And their name is Derrick Loi. And this man is out of New York, and he was charged with using a computer to meet a girl out of Lynchburg, Virginia, for sex violations. Let's be real here. That's what he was trying to do. This is exactly why I wish that show How to Catch a Predator or To Catch a Predator was still on the air. But we know why it was canceled. The Lynchburg Police Department said they arrested and charged a man in connection with soliciting a minor in Lynchburg. According to LPD, they responded to the 1500 block of Brookville Circle. On Friday at approximately 9 p.m., LPD officers responded to the home of a juvenile female after illicit communications were found that transpired between an adult male from New York and the female. During the initial investigation, officers said they learned that the suspect was actively traveling from New York in an attempt to meet the juvenile with illicit intentions. Now you got to think to yourself, this guy was determined to come and meet a child for sex. And he was hours and states away. Do y'all know how long the drive is between New York and Virginia? I'll give you an example. For me, where I stay at in Maryland, which is the state above Virginia, because, DC is not a state, of course. That from here to New York is about a 5-hour drive. So if you're coming from New York, depending on what part of New York he's coming from, because it didn't state, to Virginia, that's another hour, like another hour and a half. Yeah, probably almost 2 hours, because it says Lynchburg. So he's going deep into Virginia. He's not going northern, so this guy's literally traveling almost an entire workday to do this. LPD officers, with the help of the juvenile's parents, took action to investigate this incident. Officers were able to locate and detain the suspect less than 1 mile from the juvenile's home, so they was ready. And it probably would have been hard because it's like they were very prepared to get him, because he traveled pretty far. Now, this was a very close distance that he had to travel, like less than an hour away. Then it could have been a thing where he would have been able to succeed with whatever it was that he was trying to do. But see, they were on it early, so it's no way that he was going to get that close. Well, he did get close, but only to get trapped, and rightfully so. The collaborative efforts in the case prevented the juvenile from being further victimized, LPD said. The suspect was identified as Derrick Loi, age 26, of Lakeview, New York. Loi was taken to the Blue Ridge Regional Jail, where he is being held without bond on the following charges: indecent liberties with a minor, soliciting CP, those of y'all who can read between the lines know exactly what that is, conspiracy to commit solicitation, and computer use to solicit a minor, which is 2 counts. Lynchburg Police Department said they encourage parents and guardians to talk to their children about online safety. That's something I always tell people who are subscribed to me, who have kids, to make sure you monitor whatever social media platforms that your child is on, because you just never know who is talking to who. You think you might be talking to someone your age, but you're talking to a grown monster such as the one on your screen. LPD provides the following links that have information on how to get the conversation started, and then they put 2 links of Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force Program and the Federal Trade Commission Consumer Advice. Well, I'm glad that they got him. Looks like a straight up creep, and hopefully he gets jail time, because unlike the last story I did with Andrea Serrano, she didn't get any jail time. So hopefully they don't drop the ball with him. But like I said, in a place like Lynchburg, that just sounds like a place you don't want to get locked up in. The name speaks for itself. But yeah, this guy was determined. He drove all the way down there thinking he was about to get some from a minor. He was probably salivating too, all smiles and had the Joker grin across his face the whole time, only to realize that he's gonna get the screw face when he got there. Man, if I could have been a fly on the wall to see what that interaction was like when he got there. He probably was shocked out of his mind. But that's what he gets. That's the risk that he took. The thing is, when you are a grown individual like this, you have the willpower to stop yourself from doing something you cannot take back or something that you will go on to regret. And the scary part about this is you have a lot of people who are advocates out there for the type of behavior that he engages in, or the type of behavior that Andrea Serrano engages in. That's why a lot of them behind the scenes are trying to push legislations to lower the age of consent. That way there won't be so many of them getting locked up or being hit with all these charges. They keep trying to lower the age of consent every single day, because I think the lowest it is in the establishment, I'm not sure what state it is or what states it is 16. That's that means someone as old as, say, even 50 could mess with a 16-year-old and nothing could happen to them. They want to lower that age of consent even lower and lower, and even trying to make it seem like, oh, these kids, they know what they're doing. They agreed to it and whatnot, to try to make it seem like they are the ones that was victimized, so to speak. So you just have to keep your eye out and listen for whenever reports start swirling around of them trying to do the whole lowering of the age of consent, because they're trying to do that. They want that to be a thing so bad so they can fulfill their sick, twisted fetishes. It is wild out here to even think that there are people out here like him and Andrea Serrano who have a lust for children. Kids, they haven't even lived life yet. And this is what you choose to want to go and do. Like, these are grown adults who some have been adults longer than they have been minors now, and they want to choose to go and mess with these kids. For what? Are you that much of a loser that you can't talk to someone around your own age or maybe even older? That's what it's come to. You got to be that much of a lame, and this goes for the men and the women, to want to mess with a child in that way, in that manner.